Hello GoatGuns fans and GoatGuns addicts. We are currently in my super messy garage. We're moving a bunch of stuff, so there's stuff everywhere, but I wanted to do a video taking apart this model, trying to strip down to the bare minimum. Here we go. First thing we'll need these punches. The screwdriver came with, then one of these Phillip head ones as well. Now, let's go ahead by taking apart everything we assembled. Lift that up, comes out. Now, dust cover should slide back, come off. Now, with that off, you can lift up this rear sight. Use the screwdriver to remove the screw in the top of the rear sight. And now, the rear sight will slide off forward. Now, the dust cover, this is all one piece, so that's down as far as it'll go. But the actual leaf sight doesn't look like it actually comes out. If it does, then I'm unsure of how. Looks like you'll have to remove this spring somehow. It looks like it's put together this way, and I think we'd have to break or bend something just to get it out, so leaving that how it is. Next, lift up on the guiding rod for the spring. Take this out, I forgot I had my little ammo in it. Remove the ammo from my magazine. This looks like you push in and then slide off, sort of like a little mag. So, slide that off. Oh, there it goes. Just had to tap it in. There's the feeder, the spring, and the base, and the magazine casing. We're gonna save this one for last. We'll do all the pin punches last. Next, pistol grip. Now when you remove this little block slides out where the pistol grip is. So you see this little notch in there. So make sure you don't lose that block, because that's what your screws into. Now, I have hex screws here and here on the barrel. We're gonna go ahead and do these next. Ooh, this one's on that side. There we go. Now this whole front end comes off the barrel. Go ahead, twist off that muzzle. Now this slides completely off. I believe this ring part comes completely off too. So I need to make sure that part goes back on during reassembly. Let's go ahead and remove the safety. Okay, set that off to the side. It looks like they greased it up a little bit. which is interesting. Okay, next I'm gonna remove this little lever here. Screws down on the inside. Something for the feeding mechanism. Looks like it should lift out. There we go. It just took a little pushing. Next, I'm gonna remove these rails on the side. Set those to the side. Now, everything else looks as though it is held together by pins. So the last part to finish it, put the screwdrivers away. I'm gonna have to use, looks like this 1/16 pin punch on everything else. Now, I got these 2 blocks of wood in this rag. I'm gonna stay on top here, try and punch these pins out. I've moved over to this wooden part of my desk because this glass is shaking too much and it feels like I'm gonna need a lot of force to get this out, so. One pin out. There's number 2. There we go. Looks like that first pin holds the handguard in, and the other one holds it to the receiver body. Seems like it will slide off. I'm gonna see if I can pry it out with this flat head. There we go. Okay. It looks like the rails held the top into the bottom. See how those holes line up? So you'll have to remove the rails to separate these. Looks like this is all one solid piece. This is all one solid piece. Yeah, so the rails connect there, connecting these two together. Alright. Now, this gas tube is twisting. Let's see. Yep. Gas tube screws in. As for the barrel, I'm fairly certain slides in there, you gotta punch it out. So now all this is one solid piece, and this barrel is one solid piece. So remember where those go. Now, since we're working our way from the front to the back, the next one would be this release for the magazine. Now the spring tension, and because this is halfway out, I think it's misaligning my hole, making it, so I need to make sure I get it in there and I don't just pinch the two sides together on that spring. Like this. Yep, we got enough that we got that out. Now I don't want to move that spring. I want to remember the short end will go on the left side towards the upper part. So like if you're aiming your gun, it's gonna be on your left hand side up against the short upper side. Make sure we don't forget that. And next is the trigger. Which came out a whole lot easier. Now, the spring, I'll keep the pin with it. Also gotta keep the other pin with the mag release. Now next, be removing this buttstock. There's a pin right there. Now that seemed to work the best going from the bottom, because that seems to be, the head seems to be on the upper end. Yeah, this little part came out from inside the buffer tube when I removed that pin, so we need to make sure this goes back in it. It's right there inside of this. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave that button in there, because I do not think that's coming out without breaking or bending the spring in some way. It looks like a cognal spring, where it's like narrow on one end and large on the other, and it goes onto a peg. But try and get that in there with anything is gonna be really difficult, I believe. Now for the butt pad, this little black part, you push it that way. When you push it that way, this slides off. Now, to remove that switch, you'll have to remove that pin right there. Now it looks like the spring just sits inside there, and then the pin goes through stopping the spring. So I believe you just have to make sure that spring it's cleared all the way down to the bottom when you reinsert that pin. Let's go ahead, because it just slides out the hole right there. Next, we're gonna remove this pin down here on the very bottom. Alright, there it goes. Seems like the head was on the right side as soon as I removed the pin punch. The bottom shot out. You see that? Luckily I had my finger there, so this comes out, spring on top of it. This lever just floats now. Let's remove that one in the middle right there. Now I think, yep, this end fell through the bottom as soon as we removed that pin. So now all that should be left is this pin right here. Now the lever's been removed. That's all one piece. That's all one piece. And here is an exploded view of the model. All the way down to the muzzle. Down here with the magazine. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for some more GoatGuns content.